Joe Rogan has sparked a heated debate by boldly predicting that Canelo Alvarez would brutally end Terence Crawford in a potential matchup. While acknowledging Crawford's exceptional skills, Rogan argues that Canelo's size and knockout power give him a decisive edge. With extensive experience in higher weight classes, Canelo's physical dominance could be a game-changer, leaving Crawford untested against such a formidable opponent.
Yeah. And I just believe in my abilities. Canelo's not a big guy.
Right.
He's 5'8".
Right, fought at 52 when he fought Pacquiao.
He's
or when he fought Floyd, rather.
He's big, like muscular wise, but far as like height,
right?
Nah. So that wouldn't be nothing that we had to see.
That would be insane for you to go from 140 all the way up to 168.
That'd be dope.
Woo!
I think it can happen. I think that's, to be honest, I think that's the biggest fight in boxing.
This conversation is igniting the boxing community, with some fans siding with Rogan, while others believe Crawford's technical prowess could neutralize Canelo's strength. The speculation around this hypothetical showdown continues to captivate boxing enthusiasts, but as Rogan emphasized, Canelo's devastating punches might just be too much for Crawford to handle. Who would come out on top in this clash of champions? Tune in as we dive deeper into this thrilling matchup. In a recent discussion, former professional boxer Greg Hackett responded to Terence Crawford's call-out of Canelo Alvarez, expressing his enthusiasm for a potential matchup. Hackett's remarks highlight the growing buzz around this hypothetical fight, emphasizing the importance of opportunity in boxing. He noted, "I don't know, man, I want to see it. Let's put it like that. I think it's worth seeing now. I'm tired of people saying what someone can't do or what they won't be able to do. I say let's go." Canelo's pulling rabbits out of the hat like Berlinger. No disrespect to Berlinger, but he wasn't exactly in line for that fight. If we're just picking guys, Bud might as well go next. Hackett's comments have added fuel to the fire, encouraging fans and analysts alike to reconsider the possibilities of a Canelo versus Crawford fight. With both fighters at the top of their game, the boxing community is buzzing with anticipation. Hackett also added, "Both Bud and Canelo are among the best in the world, so let's make it happen. Canelo is making great money, so why can't my man Bud get a piece of that pie? Stop being stingy. They're being real stingy in this boxing thing right now. Will we see this showdown materialize, or will the obstacles in the sport continue to keep these two champions apart?" The call for action is growing louder, and boxing fans are eager for a resolution. A year ago, Terence Crawford made headlines with a bold statement about a potential showdown with Canelo Alvarez, asserting that it would be the biggest fight in boxing.
Terence Crawford, Canelo, that's the biggest fight in boxing, hands down. No other fighters could compare to that.
Crawford's assertion underscores the significance of this hypothetical matchup, as both fighters are at the pinnacle of their careers. With Crawford's technical skill set and Canelo's knockout power, the boxing community has been abuzz with discussions about what such a fight could look like. As the call for this epic clash grows louder, fans are left wondering if the stars will align to make this dream fight a reality. In the ongoing dialogue about potential matchups in boxing, Ryan Garcia recently weighed in on Terence Crawford's aspirations to fight Canelo Alvarez. His comments have sparked further discussion about the dynamics between these elite fighters. Garcia stated, "You are a great dedicated athlete, but you can't compare to myself or Canelo." Garcia's remarks have drawn attention for their boldness, as he seemingly ridicules Crawford while elevating his own status alongside Canelo. This statement adds another layer to the debate over who truly ranks among the elite in boxing today. As fans and analysts dissect these comments, the rivalry and speculation about future matchups continue to heat up, leaving everyone eager to see how the landscape will shift in the coming months. Adam Catterall, a respected boxing analyst, is sharing his thoughts on Canelo's next potential opponents and the overall landscape of the 168-pound division. He said, "He is not really, in my opinion, the right guy to be dancing with the best 168-pounder on the planet, but having said that, there were a couple of other recent opponents that I could say the exact same thing about. The best fight at 168 lbs is him versus David Benavidez. I hope it materializes, and there are people out there that think Benavidez can beat Canelo." Following Catterall's comments, the conversation shifts to the implications of a Canelo versus Benavidez matchup. Experts discuss Benavidez's skills, his undefeated record, and his reputation as a formidable contender. Fans weigh in on social media, debating whether Benavidez has the tools to dethrone Canelo. As anticipation builds, the boxing community eagerly awaits official announcements about upcoming fights, with many hoping this dream match will come to fruition. As the boxing world buzzes about the potential matchups in the super middleweight division, Paulie Malignaggi, a former champion and now a boxing analyst, shares his perspective on Canelo Alvarez's future. The discussion centers around Canelo's recent performances, his reluctance to face certain challengers, and the implications for the title landscape at 168 pounds. He said, "I stick with that. His apprehension to fight the mandatory continuously only cements my opinion. I don't think he's going to fight Benavidez. The only reason I want to see him fight Benavidez is for the belts because I don't even think it would be a good fight. I'm more excited about other things than I am about Canelo." Malignagi's comments spark further debate among analysts and fans. Some agree with his assessment, questioning Canelo's willingness to face top contenders, while others argue that a Canelo versus Benavidez fight could be a thrilling matchup with significant implications. The conversation evolves into a discussion of other potential fights in the division, as boxing enthusiasts express their desire for fresh matchups that could reignite excitement in the sport. Amir Khan, a former world champion with significant experience in the ring, shares his thoughts on Terence Crawford's skills and his standing among boxing fans.
I think that Crawford could beat him because Crawford is a big 147 fighter and is strong as well, which a lot of people don't give him the credit for. I think that fight, if it does happen, as long as Crawford stays away and just boxes and be smart, he can win that fight.
Khan's remarks ignite a lively debate among fans and pundits. Many acknowledge Crawford's versatility and technical prowess, while others argue that he doesn't receive the recognition he deserves compared to other elite fighters. Robert Garcia, a well-respected trainer and former champion, shares his insights on Canelo's fighting style and how it might match up against his opponents. With speculation around how Canelo will perform, discussions focus on the first few rounds of the fight and the adjustments that could be made. Robert Garcia said, "I think I see Canelo taking over, but I think those first 6 rounds will be very close. Or maybe Crawford will be ahead because I think he could win some rounds against Canelo." Garcia's analysis sparks further dialogue among commentators and fans, with many agreeing that the early rounds will be crucial. Some express excitement about Crawford's ability to compete effectively against Canelo, while others speculate on how Canelo's experience might allow him to adapt and dominate later in the fight. Robert Garcia further elaborates on what he believes Crawford will bring to the ring, highlighting his unique qualities that could challenge Canelo in the early stages of the fight. He further mentioned, "Terence is very strong physically. Mentally, he is very strong too, so you need that too. So I think he does put up some good rounds. I'm not saying he wins because it's going to be tough for him to win, but I think the first half of the fight, he will put up some really good rounds." Garcia's insights lead to a deeper discussion about the mental and physical attributes necessary for success in boxing.
What do you think he really runs into trouble the most versus Canelo?
I think Canelo's power, Canelo's strength in the late rounds is where that's where Crawford starts getting into trouble.
Commentators and fans consider how Crawford's resilience could play a key role, particularly in the early rounds where he may leverage his speed and technique. As opinions vary on who will ultimately take the victory, the anticipation for the fight continues to build, with many looking forward to seeing how Crawford's strengths will test Canelo's prowess in the ring. From the Canelo-Alvarez versus Edgar Berlanga fight settles, analysts reflect on the implications for future matchups in the boxing world. Jim Lampley, a veteran commentator, shares his thoughts on Terence Crawford, emphasizing his admiration for Crawford's talent while preparing to address concerns about his suitability against Canelo. He stated, "I love Terence Crawford and I want him to have what he wants, but off of what I saw tonight and what I saw in Los Angeles last month when Crawford was fighting my dream off, I am more than ever concerned that he's not big enough and not big enough to be able to move around the ring and muscle Canelo in the way that he would have to ward off those really vicious inside power shots." Lampley's analysis leads to a deeper examination of Crawford's physicality compared to Canelo's strength. This discussion highlights the challenges that lie ahead for Crawford if he pursues a fight at super middleweight, where Canelo reigns as a powerful champion. Lampley also stated, "I might have thought a few months ago that I would give Crawford a logical chance to win the fight. He is the most skilled pound-for-pound fighter in the world, but I just don't think he's big enough and strong enough to take on Canelo Alvarez at 168 lbs. Lampley reflects on Crawford's previous performance and the realities of moving up in weight class. He also stated, "And so far, Crawford is a 154 lb fighter who's only been to 154 lbs once and didn't get a knockout, so, I just don't see it at this moment." His conclusion underscores a growing skepticism about Crawford's chances against elite opponents like Canelo.
What's your response to Terence Crawford's call out tonight?
No comment.
When Canelo Alvarez responded with no comment regarding the possibility of a fight with Terence Crawford, it raised eyebrows among fans and analysts alike. Such a non-committal answer often suggests a lack of urgency or enthusiasm about the matchup. While Canelo is known for his strategic approach to choosing opponents, this response could indicate that he is more focused on other priorities in the ring, rather than pursuing a high-profile clash with Crawford at this time. Ultimately, it leaves fans questioning whether he genuinely wants the fight or if he sees it as a distraction from his current goals. On the other hand, Terence Crawford remains eager for a showdown with Canelo Alvarez, emphasizing his desire for the fight.
You said what you had to say. I don't know if you saw it. Canelo was asked about the live stream that you and Turk did during the fights, and Canelo said no comment. Your reaction to that, and that seems like that you do want this fight now.
Well, I've been wanting to fight. I feel as if that's a legacy fight. I feel as if, this is the biggest fight in boxing today. I feel like this fight right here is like the last of the Mohicans. Yeah.
He views the potential matchup as not just a significant challenge, but as a defining moment in his career. Crawford likens it to the last of the Mohicans, underscoring his belief that this fight represents a rare and monumental opportunity in the sport. His determination stands in stark contrast to Canelo's non-committal stance, highlighting the differing motivations between the two champions. As the boxing world continues to buzz with anticipation over a potential showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, the contrasting sentiments from both champions paint a vivid picture of the landscape in the sport. While Crawford eagerly embraces the challenge, viewing it as a legacy-defining moment, Canelo's reluctance to commit suggests a different strategic focus. This ongoing debate not only captivates fans, but also intensifies the demand for clarity in the super middleweight division. With analysts and former fighters weighing in, the urgency for these two elite athletes to meet in the ring grows ever stronger. Will Canelo seize the opportunity to face Crawford, or will the obstacles of the boxing landscape keep this monumental fight at bay? Only time will tell, but the call for action from fans and analysts alike is unmistakable. The stage is set, and the boxing community awaits a decisive resolution.